Good morning. I'm Rick Miller with Inman Farm Heritage Days. We're here to talk to you about another tractor here on the farm. It means an awful lot to us, even though it doesn't really look like it right now. This is a 1959 model John Deere 730 diesel with electric start and a wide front. So, from what we can gather, this tractor first came to Fayette County, was purchased by Mr. Dwight Kirby, who's a longtime president of the Fayette County Farm Bureau and farmed up on Sandy Creek Road, close to where the movie studios are today, if you're familiar with our county. Mr. Kirby, like a lot of people that came through the Depression, never got past his frugal ways. He was pretty legendary for it. And I was talking to his grandson, Matt Bramlett, the other day about the tractor. And he said he remembered purchasing it from a dealership and said, looking back on it, he really felt sorry for the salesman. And I can understand that. And another story I'll tell you about Mr. Kirby, I guess, shows what kind of how frugal both of us can be. In 1982, when Joanne and I got married, I was the young farmer chairman in Fayette County of the Farm Bureau, and Mr. Kirby was the president. Well, the convention in Jekyll Island in December, the county always paid all your expenses to go. So we're going to kind of look at that as having like a second honeymoon. We only had like a 1 day one to start with, and Farm Bureau pick up all the bills for us. We got down there, and the first thing on Sunday night is a Vesper service, a church service where they recognize all of the deceased county presidents and other leaders. And we got there, and they had a few little finger food there for us to eat. And Mr. Kirby came around and said, "Eat up. This is your supper." And then the next morning, we were sort of picking on where we're going to go eat breakfast, and he got out some cereal and started putting bowls out the table. He said, "This will be your breakfast." So I guess both of us are kind of known for our frugal ways. But at some point, Mr. Kirby sold this tractor to a man named Ken Foster, and we bought it and a offset harrow from Ken. And I remember the day we got it, Joanne, my wife, had to have an emergency appendectomy, and we were at the hospital checking on her. And for some reason or other, I caught a ride home with my mother, and I said, "How about swing me by Ken's and I'll bring the tractor home?" So I drove it home the day she was in the hospital recuperating from her emergency appendectomy. But I did take good care of her. I didn't put the tractor first, I will say that. We've used this thing for years on the farm. And probably 10 or 15 years ago, my daughter Stephanie and I tried to do a cosmetic restoration of it. We put new grills in it, put new bushings and all in the float ride seat, cleaned it up, painted it. And it wasn't long after that. It was my fault, but it always seeped a little water out under the block like a lot of two cylinders do. And so rather than risk it getting busted in a cold snap, I just drained the water out of it, and I took the radiator cap and just sort of cocked it up on the radiator, and it was backed under a shed. Long story short, at some point it rained in there, water got down in the block, cracked the top of the head, and it's been sitting here needing some attention ever since then. But our goal is to get this thing out. We found another cylinder head. Our buddy Daniel Perkins, who's done a lot of work on our two cylinders here in the last month to do, since we got to know him real well. He's going to get on this thing, and hopefully we'll have it running by him in Farm Heritage Days, September 15th through 17th. And if you like what we're doing on YouTube, subscribe to our channel and hit the like button. Thank you.